I spotted a door that had been opened just a crack. Tried peeking in. I forced the door open. Let's force the door open. I forced the door open. Nami looked over at me. We killed our mom. She was acting so weird. You're not Nami. You're Naomi. We killed our mom. The expression on Naomi's face didn't change. She just kept repeating the same thing. Why are you even telling me this bullshit? Where's Nami? I pressed Naomi to answer me. We killed our mom. Naomi started to cry. As her children, we must be punished, and I have already received my punishment. You mean you're already dead, huh? The same fate must happen to Nami, because if it doesn't, Nami will experience the effects of the curse and she will be mummified. Okay, I understand. No, I don't understand. This is some weird shit. I thought I'd get all the information I could out of her. Here, why did the two of you kill your mom? Because of the curse. The curse upon this estate. This estate? This mansion's cursed? It was built in medieval Europe, and the curse has existed since those days. Okay, how is it built in medieval Europe if you're in Japan? That don't make sense. You're not House of Fata Morgana in this. This isn't the house in Fata Morgana where the house appears in random places. Okay, like no, I don't. This is already at a level of disbelief. Naomi spoke in a lifeless voice. At the beginning of the Meiji period, in 1868, the estate was sold to a Japanese man. When it was taken apart, piece by piece, shipped to Japan, and rebuilt here, the curse came with it. For the curse is eternal. Okay, is this the house in Fata Morgana now? Because this is what it's seeming like it. Though I enjoyed that visual novel more. And the curse makes children kill their parents. Naomi disappeared. Wait, Naomi, I shouted. Then a door opened as if it had been opened to guide me. I ran into the hallway. The door before me opened up without making a sound. Found Nami inside of that room. Look at how many there are. Nami suddenly pointed out the window. She was pointing to the garden in the back of the house. There was a row of graves, so many graves. The row was lined up with pairs of graves. They're the graves of the twins. That's right, the graves of the twins who killed their mother and were punished for it. I didn't realize exactly when she'd arrived, but Naomi was standing there with us. This is the curse of the estate, the curse of this mansion, and that was brought from the west, the curse that makes twins kill their parents. Her voice was cold. On our 7th birthday, we stabbed our mom with this sword. The sword on the floor rose up, flew through the air, and fell on the palm of Nami's hand. I have already received my punishment. You need to hurry up and be punished too, or the curse will mummify you. Oh, Nami and I shouted at the same time. The sword gleamed. In the light, we could see a scene of 7-year-old twins stabbing their mom with the sword. The sword vanished along with Naomi. Nami was looking totally pale. That was me. We killed her mom. Stop it, Nami. I have to hurry and receive my punishment from my mom. Nami started walking faster. Don't go, Nami. I clung to Nami. Alright, then. I'm going too, I declared. Let's go too. I feel like that's alright. I'm going to. I decided to go with Nami. Don't come after me. Nami stopped me, looking pale. Why not? Because I'm going to be punished. That's why I'm going with you. Being punished means I'm going to be killed by my mom. I know that, I said. So I'm going to be punished along with you. Tears came to Nami's eyes. Sachu, don't hurt me like this. Nami ran into a nearby room. Nami. I ran after her immediately. It was a strange room. On the other side of the room, there was a tiled wall depicting Mother Mary with her child. Nami stood in the center of the room. This is the prayer room. I like how I'm doing this on Good Friday. I didn't plan this. I realized this is Good Friday and we're doing some weird Christian shit. Oh, that's a funny coincidence. It's a very Good Friday indeed. I noticed 2 worn out spots on the carpet as someone had often kneeled there. Those spots were left by the people praying. Many generations of people kneeled there in prayer. I'm sure that my mom was one of them. Nami kneeled on that spot and positioned herself to pray. That very instant, the air in the room changed. I could hear children crying. Their voices seemed to come from the walls. Look at this. There was an old newspaper article stuck on the wall with a pin. The clipping was from 1869, right near the start of the Meiji era. The font used in the article was unique to that era. Mother's twin killings was the title of the article. It was about the unexplained murders that occurred in the mansion that had been deconstructed in the West and carried over and reconstructed. The article stated that there was an ominous legend concerning the estate, even before it was reconstructed here in Japan. Any mother who lives there always gives birth to twins, and she always ends up killing them due to a curse. The mother ends up killing them? That doesn't make sense if the curse is saying that the kids kill them. Oh, it wasn't actually the other way around? Yeah, I remembered it was Good Friday because I'm off today from work for the holiday, and I'm off on Monday for Easter Monday, so I have a 4-day weekend, which is great. So the curse is the other way around. Interesting. I shouted. Naomi was lying. It was actually the mom who was cursed to kill her twins. The air in the room started to shake again. The children began to weep silently. They seemed to be trying to tell me what I was thinking was correct. The diary. We should be able to find out more from it. We need to find her mom's diary. We headed to the mummy's room. Yeah, it's nice having a 4-day weekend. I can actually relax for a bit. I haven't had this much time off since winter break, so it's actually kind of nice. And especially because we roll into all the commencement stuff starting in April. April and May are busiest months for me until summer, but, got my 4 days to recharge before that hits. The mummy wasn't there, but the diary had been left on the table. Oh, the pages flipped open as I approached it. July 3rd. I gave birth to twins. That's where the diary started. July 4th. My children are so cute. Will the curse start up soon, though? July 5th. My right hand moved to kill my children. I need my husband to tie me down. July 6th. My husband suddenly passed away. Perhaps the curse is to blame for this, too. According to the diary, the mother was doing everything in her power to fight back against the curse and raise her daughters alone, despite all the problems she was having. July 3rd. It's their 3rd birthday. They are growing strong, but I'm not sure how long I can hold myself back from succumbing to the curse. July 7th. Oh, my hand moved to kill my children again. Naomi screamed, asking why her mother didn't just leave the mansion. The diary answered her question. Mothers had tried to escape from the mansion with their twin children before. Every one of them died a horrible death. July 10th. I tried to kill them again while the 2 of them were comparing their heights. July 15th. I can't raise them myself any longer. I'll send the 2 of them to an orphanage while I remain here. This way we can beat this curse. Goodbye, Naomi. Nami. My mom was trying to save me. Yeah. Part of the ink had become blotted. The ink must have been blotted by her tears. Nami hugged the diary, but still she had questions. Why did my mom get mummified, though? Because she defied the curse, I guess. And what about my sister? That's right. Why did Naomi die? She should have been sent to an orphanage like Nami was to get around the curse. Suddenly, I could hear Naomi's laughter. Naomi, stop. Don't go to her, Nami. Let me go. I need to go find out for myself. Nami shook me away and ran out of the room. Nami! As I tried to move forward, a sword slashed right down before my eyes. I wasn't sure what to do about the sword. Don't mess with me. I pulled out the sword, heaved it into the wall, and chased after Nami. I might be able to use this. I took the sword and chased after Nami. We should take the sword. I feel like we're gonna need the sword. I might be able to use this. I took the sword and chased after Nami. Wait, Nami. Nami looked with me with terror in her eyes. Sachu, what are you doing? Nami barely dodged as I made a hole in the wall with the sword. Sachu, stop. Run, Nami. I shouted as I went after her, swinging the sword. My own body was trying to kill Nami. Help. Sachu, forgive me. Damn it. At this rate, I was going to cut Nami down. Nami, don't move. I shouted and slashed at Nami with the sword. Run away, Nami. Wait, I shouted. So, what I said didn't make any sense. I shouldn't have picked up that sword. Nami, don't move, I shouted and slashed at Nami with the sword. No. My sword crossed Nami's cheeks. Some of Nami's hair scattered to the ground. Sachu, I was trying to kill Nami. Nami, help me. My body was out of control, Sachu. It seemed like Nami finally understood. You can't stop, can you, Sachu? No, it's no good. The more I try to stop, the more furiously my hand swings at you. Nami stopped, looking pale, and said something shockingly daring. Try the opposite then, Sachu. Try to swing the sword at me. Try to kill me. It was a huge gamble, and she was putting her life at stake. Don't be stupid. I couldn't do that. I screamed as I slashed at Nami. Hurry. Nami shouted at me. Okay, I just decided to go along with Nami's plan. I can't do it. I shouted. We're gonna go along with the plan. Okay, I decided to go along with Nami's plan. My sword swung down into Nami. Ah! My eyes were stained red, and I could hear Nami's scream echoing. Nami! I screamed with something sticky red like blood that flung into a world of darkness. I was enveloped by a silent darkness, and then it gradually lifted. I was in that mummy's room. A woman was sitting in a wheelchair right in front of me. She was a classy-looking lady and was very beautiful. I could tell at first glance that she was Nami's mom. What was going on here? Nami's mom was knitting something. What's happening? Then I understood what was going on. This was Nami's mom before she became a mummy. But why was I seeing this? Nami's mom didn't even seem to notice that I was there. I'm a wall. Suddenly, I realized that I had been turned into one of the walls in this room. Nami's mom okay, this is weird. This is funky. Nami's mom continued knitting. All I could do as a wall was sit there and watch her. It appeared to be raining outside. I could hear footsteps in the hallway, and then the door opened. The person who came in was Naomi, soaking wet because of the rain. Mom, I wanted to see you again. It was a vision of the past. This was before Naomi died and before her mom got mummified. I was being shown the scene from the wall's perspective. You must leave, Naomi, her mom implored, looking pale. Go back this instant. You cannot be here. Why, Mom? Do you hate me? I walked all the way here in the rain. It took an hour and a half to walk all the way up that mountain path that night. Naomi's voice was racked with tears. Don't do this, Naomi. You mustn't. Your presence here will only summon forth the power of the curse. You're wrong. There is no curse, Mom. I just want to see you. Naomi kneeled before her mother's wheelchair. I heard everything, Mom. I know you sent us to the orphanage to protect us. I know you got yourself into that accident intentionally, crippling yourself to the point of being physically incapable of hurting us. So I want to stay by your side, Mom. I want to be the one to take care of you now. Welcome home, Naomi. With that said, I do not wish to see you. Mom, I love you, Mom. Naomi took her mom's hand and cried. Naomi's mom shook off her hand and moved to the wheelchair to the door and opened it. Get out, Naomi. I never want to see your face again. Mom. Naomi's mom cast her out and shut the door. I understand, Mom, Naomi said on the other side of the door. I'll just stay here today in the room I stayed in when I was a kid. Just let me sleep here for one night. That's all I ask. Her mom didn't respond. She only clenched the armrests of her wheelchair. Her whole body was trembling like she was trying to hold something back. Then suddenly the scene changed. I had turned into the wall in Naomi's room. There was an old bed there, and the grown-up Naomi was sleeping in it. That's when the door opened. Her mom entered, sitting in the wheelchair. She moved the wheelchair forward and looked down at Naomi's sleeping face. She was clutching a sword in her right hand, and she raised it up. Oh no. I was screaming in my heart. It wasn't by her own will that she raised the sword. Even her body tried to bring the sword down. It wasn't her intent. It was the force of the curse upon this mansion that moved her. Oh, I don't want to kill you, the mom spoke, as she could barely squeeze the words out. Naomi, run. But whatever it was from being tired by the long walk or the nostalgic feelings of being back in her old bed, Naomi was sleeping like a baby. Naomi! Her mother screamed with the sword raised up in the air. She was fighting. The curse was trying to bring the sword down, but her mom was fighting not to do it. It must have taken every fiber of her being to remain in control. Both of her hands trembled as they held the sword, and sweat poured down her brow. Her face was twisted with pain. It looked like she couldn't even speak anymore. She was biting her lips so hard that they were bleeding. She was giving everything she had to fight against the power of the curse. Finally, Naomi opened her eyes. "Mom?" To Naomi, in that moment, it must have looked like her mom was trying to kill her. "Help!" Naomi shouted as she ran out of the room. "Ah!" I could hear Naomi scream. The scene changed again. This time, I was a wall below the stairs. Naomi had fallen down the stairs, broken her neck, and died. Her mother looked down from upstairs. "Naomi!" she screamed. Then someone got up from Naomi's corpse. It was Naomi, but now she was a ghost. She floated in the air and stood next to her mom. "I'm sorry, Mom. I died without you being able to kill me, but I swear I'll make it up to you," Naomi said. "I'll call my sister Nami here, and when the two of us are together," she reached out, holding the sword from earlier. "I'll have you kill her with this sword." "Oh, I couldn't," her mother screamed. "Naomi, you mustn't do such a thing," her mom screamed in despair. "I'm not going to kill anyone, even if the curse takes me for it." Tears began to pour from her mother's eyes. "You're going to die then," biting your tongue. Wind blew through the mansion, and the sound of laughter echoed from nowhere in particular. "Ah!" she screamed. In the strong wind, her mom breathed out white smoke as she changed into nothing but skin and bones, and her hair turned white. Nami's mom had been transformed into a mummy, and then the scene went dark. Eek, that's real bad. Also, way different from the other story. I remained there, still in the darkness. "Come on, Nami. Let's go." I could hear Naomi's voice. "Mom's waiting for us." "Yes, Naomi," Nami replied. Naomi was going to lead Nami to the mummy. "Don't go, Nami," I tried to say, but I was unable to speak. It was pitch black all around me. "We killed our mom, didn't we?" Nami's voice faded away. "She's wrong. You didn't do it, Nami." I struggled, but it was all for naught. There, in the darkness, I suddenly felt a disgusting presence. It was the spirit of the mansion. Even though I wasn't able to make a sound, I screamed in the only way I could to the spirit. "Damn you. You turned me into a wall, and now you're trying to kill Nami?" "Indeed I am," the spirit responded to me in much the same way, in words without a voice. "The twins that are born here will kill their mother. This is the curse that I have cast. Who in the hell are you?" "I am the original owner of the mansion," the spirit replied. "In the forest of Borgone in the year 1800, I gave birth to the twin princesses here in this mansion. Later on, I was stabbed to death by the two of them with my own sword. They killed me because they lusted over my position of authority. I was dead, and yet I wasn't dead, for I had placed a curse on this mansion and on this sword. A curse that would lead the twins to kill their mothers? That's right. I started with my two daughters. I had them each bear twins, and each pair of twins killed their mothers. You got your revenge then. So why does this curse still exist?" "Because greed and hatred still exist in the human heart. The same greed and hatred that my two daughters felt are what is keeping the curse alive." The presence of the spirit was gone, and the darkness around me gradually became brighter. I was now a wall in the second-floor hallway. Naomi was leading Nami as they walked to the other side. Each of them were holding a bouquet of hyperciliums. The sealed door squeaked open. Nami and Naomi disappeared into that room. Was Nami going to be killed by her mom and the mummy in there? Nami. All I could do was keep shouting her name in a voice that could not be heard, shredding tears of regret that could not fall, and sobbing with breaths I could not breathe. And then the wheelchair appeared. There was no mummy on it, just an empty wheelchair. It charged forward at me, but since I was a wall, there was no way for me to dodge it. Oh! The wheelchair got busted into pieces. Something strange had happened. I was now standing in front of the wall. I wasn't a wall anymore. I was myself again. Somehow, the wheelchair breaking itself against me must have set me free. Oh, interesting. So I guess he was stuck in the wall, and I guess that makes sense. Nami. I ran to the room that had been sealed off. Nami. The sealed room remained shut down tight like it was before. I tried to force it open, but it wouldn't even budge. Open the door, Nami. I remembered what the wheelchair had done, and I slammed my body into the door as hard as I could. Got knocked back, but the door suddenly became transparent. could see into the room, and I could hear voices too. Nami and Naomi were kneeling there. The mummy was sitting on a large chair right in front of the two of them. They seemed to have already started performing a ceremony. It is time. Let us receive our punishment from our mom, Naomi said. Right. The two of us killed our mom, after all, Nami replied. The curse of the mansion must be what was making them kill her, just like the twin princesses who killed their queen. It's time, Mom. Naomi and Nami joined hands and said to their mom in unison, please punish us. And with that, the sword at her side began to glow. The sword emitted a low-frequency sound and began to float in the air, landing in the hands of their mummified mom. Their mom, the mummy, started to shake as if pressured by the sword. Oh. The mummy began to groan as it stood up, and Naomi and Nami bowed before her. The mummy slowly raised the sword into the air. Stop. Oh no. Nami's mom loved her daughter so much, but she wasn't going to beat that curse in the end, was she? Stop it. Please, stop. The mummy heaved the sword down. No. The mummy's hands were still frozen in the air. One force was trying to bring the sword down all the way, while another was fighting to keep it up. There, inside of the mummy's body, was the battle between the power of the curse and the power of love. I saw it then. Inside the hollow sockets of the mummy's eyes was blood. She was crying tears of blood. Nami, cry out for your mom. I barely managed to get her to hear me. Look at her, Nami. Your mom is trying to save your life. Nami gasped and looked at her mom. Mom. She could see her mom's bloody tears. Mom. The mummy still held the sword in place, trembling. I love you, Mom. Nami screamed with all of her heart, and at that moment the mummy began shining and then burst into pieces. The transparent door was blown open. Nami. I ran over to her. Sachu. Naomi fell to the floor, turned into a shadow, and vanished. We need to run, Nami. I led her out of there. The suit of armor appeared before us. What a twist! Oh my god. Oh god, this is... I don't know if this is harder to believe than the first ending we got, but this is like a different type of tone. Whoa, look out, Sachu. The suit of armor unleashed its sword and came slashing at me, but I had no weapons or powers to use against it. I don't care what happens to me, I wrestled with the suit of armor, hoping to save Nami's life at the end. We're not going to die just yet, still holding onto each other. The two of us rammed into the suit of armor. I feel like ramming into the suit of armor is we're not going to die just yet, still holding onto each other. The two of us rammed into the suit of armor at full speed. The suit of armor wouldn't budge. It flung its large arms around, coming for us, but something was off about it. The suit of armor started spewing some sort of yellow steam from its whole body as it took 2 or 3 more steps in our direction. Then the suit simply collapsed. The steam coming out of it changed to a bluish color. From the scattered pieces of the suit of armor, that green cat stepped out. Its eyes flashed at us, and then it disappeared. That green cat. Was that the physical manifestation of the curse? Oh. Where did that come from? Explosions started happening all over the place. Hurry. By the time we made it down the stairs, the entrance had already erupted in flames. Okay, so this flame effect is really cool. Like, you wouldn't think something like this would be on the SNES. Like, this is a pretty cool effect. Like, we'll go out the back. I grabbed Nami's arm and ran. A flaming pillar fell to the floor, separating us. Are you okay, Nami? The air was thick with black smoke and heat. It was hard to breathe. I couldn't even open up my eyes. This route has been so different. Last route was Scooby-Doo. This was more drama horror. Yeah. I can't take it anymore, Sachu. I reached my hand out to her voice. Don't say that. We're gonna make it through this alive. For your mom's sake. For Naomi's, too. Suddenly, at that moment, there was a bright light. It was a golden light shining just beyond the flames and smoke. I couldn't bring myself to open my eyes, but I could still see it somehow. I could believe in it. That way. I aimed for that light, holding onto Nami's hand as we ran. Yeah, like last route there was a brother that wasn't there, and this route, like, it's implied that the guy was like someone that was brought in later. The air around us had suddenly changed. It seemed like we made it out to the back. We made it out, Nami. The boiler was about to explode. We had to get a little further away from the house, so we kept running. The wind struck my cheeks, and I was finally able to open my eyes a little, though they still stung from all the smoke. I turned around to see how far we'd run from the mansion. It's falling apart. The house where I was born and raised, my sister's house, my mom's house. The wind was blowing. It was cold and refreshing. It made me think clearly again, and so I breathed the fresh air in deep. Nami, like me, was taking deep breaths of it. Far away from us, with its back to the darkness, was a blackened mountain of debris. My vision had become clear enough to see that the mansion had burned completely to the ground. If you hadn't pulled me along, Sachu, I'm sure that Nami looked at me, and then she softly whispered, "Thank you." No, it wasn't me, I said. The light guided me here. The light? Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was your mom's light. Either hers or maybe my sister's, right? Oh, pretty sky effect. We looked up at the night sky. It looked so beautiful. Oh. Nami said in a quiet voice. From the burning rubble, we could see something shining rise up to the heavens. There was one. No, two. Mom. Naomi. Nami whispered, "Thank you," and "Goodbye." Okay, now I'm wondering, did we get it, like, what, did I get the good end, or is this another end? I'm confused. I feel like the tonal whiplash between the two endings was so different. Like, the first one felt like a Scooby-Doo episode, this one felt like some weird occult shit going on. And, like, I like that the beginning changed enough to where, yeah, you can see that the painting changed and everything, meaning, yes, you're on a different route. Yes, you're finding the new information. Like, it's distinguishing enough to where you realize you're on a different route, which I like, and I think is interesting. But, I don't know, I felt like, yeah, once you know the first time around the build-up, and, like, what choices to do, it's interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if there's a third ending, but there might be. I know that if you pick all the perfect choices, it's a different ending, but I thought I didn't pick the perfect choices, so. But it's kind of interesting, because we didn't get any of the scenes in the kitchen. The stuff in the bathroom was different. The painting was different. Like, nothing with the aquarium. It was very interesting. I do wish we would have gotten more info about that guy who was the little brother or whatever, or the guest, because I feel like they kind of just omitted him completely from this part of the route. But I mean, it was also kind of implied that he didn't exist in the first route to begin with, so who knows? Who knows? It is interesting, though. Also, like, since we didn't go into the greenhouse, we didn't get any of those scenes, so that was also kind of interesting. yeah, this really is interesting. Like, I understand how this has impacted modern visual novels and, like, the path divergence and just all that stuff and just the theme and thematic of it. It's very interesting because you can tell, like, yeah, these, all that. I'm glad she caught it too. So, let's see. Did we get the two? Do we get a to be continued or? Oh, this wasn't even a good. Try again. So there's still a third round I haven't done. I still have a third round I gotta go through. What? Well, input. How do I get back to the start? Interesting. Okay, so I guess there's still a third. I there's a third route I have to do still, and I guess is that the one where I pick all the pervy answers? Because I swear, if I have to pick all the pervy answers and that's the correct one, I'm gonna not be happy. So, but oof, oh gosh, that was interesting. I I don't know when I'm gonna play this again because I feel like this tonal whiplash was a lot, but it was interesting. I think it was fun. Like, definitely this time around they threw in a bunch more stuff that kind of like I'm curious like what the real ending is. So yeah, I so there's a PS1 remake of this that hasn't been translated, but um it I think it's still it's pretty much they just updated the graphics and the sound stuff and it was more modernized. It still didn't have a skip function, but um there's like a guide for that out there and I looked at it and there is an ending like if you just pick pervy choices. Like if you're just pervy to Naomi the entire time, it ends up being something else. And part of me kind of wants to do that on the next playthrough because I'm like wondering if that's the true end or not because um I mean, the guide was in Japanese, so I was trying to like read it, and it like I don't have the script, the Japanese script, to compare it to the English one, but I'm sure I could figure it out if I read more of it. But yeah, this was definitely interesting, and I think it's a bit shorter this time too. This was definitely like probably like a half hour shorter than the last route, so well, I don't know when I'll do the third one, but this was definitely a trip. That was total. That was interesting. I'm sure. Yeah, maybe we'll do the third route. Eventually. I don't know when, but for now, I think I'm gonna call it there for now. Thank you for joining me in this weird Scooby Doo novel. Um, I will probably be editing this and putting it up as like 30-minute chunks like I did with part one. So just keep an eye out. Bye bye.